Hello and welcome to my new review. This time it will be the Moon Gundam and I will be going through different parts of it, and I'll also be explaining what I actually did with the painting for this one as well. So to start off, what you get out of the box is your two boomerangs. You get these little adapters which will be for attaching the shield bits onto the arms. You get a fixed posed back attachment for the shield bits. You have a single shooting hand, fixed pose widespread hands. You have your beam rifle, your beam saber / tomahawk. You have your shield bits here, which I'll show you a little bit later, and the Moon Gundam itself. When I was painting up the Moon Gundam, I was trying to decide on what sort of colours I wanted. And I wanted to keep it very similar to the box art, but add in a little bit just to make it stand out. So when I went about this one, first bit was painting in the chest, and it was just deciding on the vents. I went with a nice orange just because it gave a little bit of a striking contrast. Then with the waist, keeping that the red, but then adding in the silver piping with the gold fixings. So that was quite a bit of masking involved for that bit there, but gives it a nice bit of a separation there on the torso. So on the actual blue, I used two different blues just to give a little bit of colour separation on the parts. Shoulders, the next big part, was a fair bit of masking involved on this one, where just adding in some of the two-tone blue with the orange accents again. Again, same underneath in the thrusters. I kind of followed that theme throughout it, so all of the thruster areas and the vent areas I went for the orange, and then just on the blue used a lot of the two-tone blue, and also added in some extra blue areas where there weren't any before. So the knees, added that in just to break up the white a little bit. The helmet kept very similar, just adding in a bit of a difference on the green highlighting. So that was just a little bit of blending on there just to make it a little bit more vibrant. The back, pretty much following the same. All of the all the chrome silver bits I used one of the chrome pens for, and then just carried that through just to keep it quite uniformed. So then if I have a little look here at the articulation, start with the head, all the way down, all the way up, loads of motion, then side to side, just a little bit, and then it can go all the way around, just about there. Then have a little look at the shoulders. So you got a couple bits on the shoulders. So the shoulders are fixed, and then you have your section here which folds up and down, and the arms themselves can go all the way up thanks to the little poly cap in here on a hinge, so it just lifts up nicely, quite high. And then you can get a little bit of motion round to the front, but it's not as much because it is just primarily on the up motion. So the arms will rotate all the way around, being on a ball joint. The top of the arm will rotate, and then you have a 2-point bend. It just comes just around, just like that. So it's not as good as on some kits, but overall it's pretty decent for a high grade. Then you have ball joint on the wrist, so that can just turn all the way around. Sometimes catches on the back of the arm though here. So with the torso, you get a small bit forward, a little bit more to the back, and then to the side, and to the side, that's just on the ball joint. Then with the side skirting, you have the little hinge up here, and then that can just go up and down, so it's not loads but it's not bad at all. So on the front, these come attached, but you can snip them at the middle so you can use them independently. So go all the way up, down on the ball joint, and then on the back, the rear is one piece and it just moves out slightly like this. Now if we have a look at the legs, so if we just move the skirting up, legs will go up quite nicely there, and then you have your double hinge for the bend at the knee. So it's quite a bulky leg, so it won't go all the way around, but it is quite good for its size. So now if we go to put this back again, so you have a little thruster here which moves out and in slightly, and then here we have the little flap for here, and that just goes in and out just like that. On the ankles, there isn't any toe in or out, but it does go back quite far, and just move that a little bit out of the way and it comes up again quite nicely there. And then the side to side, and there. Doesn't really get too obstructed by this side here, which is quite nice, but the main motion is going to be off this side for a bit of dynamic posing. Okay. Inside the waist unit, it has got a small swinging motion, so you can swing legs in. Doesn't really give you too much more at the front, but it will get you a little bit more movement out at the back, and just gives that little bit more of a ab crunch look to it. Then you can just push that back in. And so now for the highlight of this kit, that's the moon shield bits. So just got on its stand. This also comes with the kit. So for this, I'll start off at the back of them. So kept it at the white and with the orange venting again, and then just some panel lining just to bring out the details. So when it actually came to the colouring on this, as much as I like the clear red, I wanted to have a little bit more of like an anodized orangey sort of look to it. So I ended up going for some Alclad chrome and then going over with some Tamira clear orange. So it took a few coats and a few layers, but gives that nice real shine to it. Just makes the model stand out, especially on the shelf. So with these here, they can all separate out, and you can use them independently on its stand, just like this, or you can just add in the others. So they all just hook in just with these little hooks. And then they just fold away, and you can then just pop them back out for use. So I like to often have it displayed just in half and half, so you can just have them folded down, just like this. And there you have the two shield bits. Okay, so I'll just grab the Moon Gundam just to show them actually attached. So with the Moon Gundam, you have the two posable rear arms. So if we just remove first one and the second one, and then there's some little notches inside there which match up to the notches on here, so you can just position it just how you want it to. And there is a hinge at the top here, then at here, and then back here, and there is rotation. So that is one fitted, and then just the next one. So there you have it like that. We're having them attached both separately. Okay, now let's have a look at some of the extras you get with the kit. We'll start off with the boomerangs. There's these here. This is them with the beam attached. And then you can remove them. Slot them away, and these will fit away nicely just inside here. There, so they're tucked away out of the way. You can also use them as they are, so you just keep them out, and then they will then slot in, and there you have them with some arm beams attached. So let's have a look at the beam saber / beam tomahawk. So if we just remove the top of the hand and then slot this in, this won't actually slide all the way through because it's got a couple ridges just to hold it in place. So then we just reattach back on the back of the hand. And there you go. It does have a bit of a wobble, but it holds it in quite well, so you won't have to move it around. Okay, so let's take this one off. I'll leave this just there attached. So you then have the beam rifle. So quite a simple rifle for this kit. It looks quite nice. Just I broke up the colours with a bit of silver, and then a little bit of light grey and the darker grey. You won't be, it's a bit hard to tell, but it is there. So for this one you use your shooting hand, so we remove the back of the hand and then get rid of this. Just makes it a little bit easier. I don't want to risk scratching the paint while I remove the hands itself. And goes in. And there. And then that just attaches on just like with any other ball joint. Because it is such a light weapon, it's got no problems holding it. The joints are quite strong, so there's no chance of it dropping. And there it is attached with the beam rifle. So you also get some widespread hands. So I'll just show you those. So I'll just pop this side off. And then there. Now let's have a look at the shield attached onto the forearm. So that's how it will look. You can attach as many of the other bits on there as well. And this is very simply to attach and to remove. So you can just remove the piece off and then pop out the little section here. You have one for both arms, so you can have them on both sides if you want to as well. And it's just a small hole inside here. You just pop it in and then reattach it back on. And here you have the finished model in a shooting pose, and to say for the build was amazing. The painting side of it, really good, really lends itself nicely to a bit of custom painting, or just to leaving it as it is and just putting it straight up on your shelf. However you choose to finish your model, it's up to you, and it looks fantastic either way. No real issues to speak of with it. With painting, you've just got to be quite careful. There's a lot of masking you might want to do if you want to really separate out some panels, but that'll be the same with any high grade, master grade, or any kit you want to paint yourself. I have to say, all the recommendations about this kit have always been to buy it. It's fantastic, and have to agree. I couldn't ask for a better kit to build on this one, and I will say, just like all the others, if you haven't got one already, go out and get yourself one. You won't be disappointed. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you on my next video.